Good girl. You're learning. So I'm only doing 4. This is definitely algebra more material, but we're going to be building up to some algebra 2 stuff. So we just got to get some of these rules and routines of how we solve these before we dive into the algebra 2 part. So again, I'm only doing 4 of these, so these are super short. So I know that looks like a lot on the board, but this is doable. Okay, so it says subtract, and we've got in parentheses a negative 6x to the 4th minus 4x to the 3rd minus 6x, and then it ends the parentheses. Then we've got a negative, and then it starts new parentheses with a negative 4x to the 4th minus x to the 3rd plus 7x squared minus 7x. Okay, so really the only purpose of the parentheses in this problem is because of that negative that is in front of the second parentheses. Technically, the first parentheses doesn't even need to be there because there's not anything that needs to be done inside it. There's not anything outside of it that's going to change that first parentheses. Okay, so we are dropping that first parentheses and we're just going to go ahead and write what's there because there's no like terms in there for us to combine. Okay, so we're going to put a negative 6x to the 4th minus 4x to the 3rd minus 6x. Okay, so first parentheses is done. Second parentheses, there is really a negative what here? 1. So we have to distribute this negative through to each one of these in the parentheses. And really all it's going to do is switch what is in there to the opposite sign, right? Okay, so when I go a negative times a negative, it's going to change it now to a positive 4x to the 4th, and then again a negative to a negative is going to change it to a positive x to the 3rd, and then a negative times a positive is going to change it to a negative, and then the last one's going to be a positive. We get to there. Hopefully you remember this from previous years. Okay. Now, all we're doing is adding and subtracting, and we're combining like terms. The key thing of this is to write them in descending order. So the largest exponent down to where there isn't one if it's possible. Okay. So my largest exponent would be the x to the 4th. Okay. So I just look at the numbers in front. I don't do anything with the variables in the exponent. Okay. So a negative 6 and a positive 4 would give me a negative 2 x to the 4th. Okay, so I'm done with that one. So now my next one down would be the 3. And I've got another one with a 3. So a negative 4 and a positive, what's in front of that? 1. Okay, so that would be a negative 3. Okay, so now the next one down is x to the 2nd. And we only have one of them. We don't have another one to combine it with, so it just doesn't change. It stays the same. Okay, then the next one down is just the one that has the x. Okay, so we've got one there and one there. So a negative 6 and a positive 7 is just going to be a positive x. Or 1x if you put one. Easy. Hopefully, before you get to this class, you've seen that. Okay, so another one that's just like this, just want to make sure I did one with you, just so you saw all the different ones, is just how to write this one. Okay. So it says subtract 4x to the 3rd minus 3x to the 2nd plus 6x minus 9 from 3x to the 3rd plus 4x squared plus 9. So when we see these, they're actually flips, okay, from what we just had on our previous problem that we did. So this would actually be that first parentheses, okay? Well, that first parentheses, there's nothing inside there that I would have changed, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and write it. Okay, now we're visualizing that this other one is in parentheses and we are subtracting. So when I go to write the second one, what do I have to do with all of them?
Flip the signs.
Flip the signs. Okay, so it's going to be a negative 4x to the 3rd, and now a positive 3x squared minus 6x, and a positive. So same exact thing as what we just did. Just making sure you know which one is the one that's switching. Okay, Okay, largest exponent going to be a negative 1x to the third. Okay, then we have x squared, and they're both positive, so I'm adding. Okay, we got those done. And then there is only one that has an x, so it stays the same. And then the last one's going to be what? 8. Good. Okay, switching away from that. This is the second objective. That was the first objective, so number 21. This is number 22. Okay, so 5c to the fourth, and then parentheses, so it means times 3c to the fourth minus 3c to the second minus 2c plus 6, and then into parentheses. Okay, so we use the word distribute, which means we are multiplying, right? So we just had a section about exponents. So when we multiply or distribute, we don't multiply the exponents, we what? Add them. Okay, so we're going to multiply the whole numbers like we're multiplying the other exponents. Okay, so when I distribute that to that, I'm going to get 15, but I'm going to add those, so that would be c to the 8. Okay, do it again. 5 times negative 3, so negative 15. C to the 6. Okay, do it again, so that'd be a negative 10. C to the 5th. Okay, and then my last one.
30 C to the 4th.
Okay, and then just double check. I think they already have them set up that they're in descending order, but the answers are always read in descending order. It's not necessarily wrong. It's just really hard for somebody to grade it jumping around if you don't have it in descending order. Good at that one? Okay, a little bit different. And the last one that I'm doing. Okay, this is distributing, but it's also using the FOIL method, if you've ever heard of that before, where we've got to do the parentheses, distributing the parentheses to each other first before we go to the outer part. Okay, so 4x, and then parentheses x minus 1, parentheses x minus 2. So it's all multiplication. Okay, so we're going to do this part first. So when I distribute this, it's going to give me x to the second. When I distribute this to this one, it's going to give me a negative 2x. This one to this one gives me a negative 1x, and then a negative times a negative would give me a positive 2. Okay, go ahead and combine like terms, because that's what we did on the first two problems. We had like terms because it's adding and subtracting at this point. Okay, so that would be a negative 3x plus 2. Good. Okay, so now we're done with that, Now I need to multiply what this became by 4x. This was one last step. Okay, so distributing there would give me 4x to the third. That one, negative 12x squared, and then the last one would be 8x, and again, it's in descending order. Easy. Another ACE test, right? Okay. All right. So just keep those tucked away. Try it. I think we should, because they're fairly quick problems. Should be able to grade this, hopefully. If you get done early, there's a con for this section that's due Thursday midnight. Okay. They're like these, so they're not very hard. Gotta stop my video.